Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, I have a bunch of updates to share about Donald Trump's coup clowns. I'm going to start off with the not so great news and then we'll get into the fun stuff. A Texas appeals court dismissed the disbarment case against Kraken attorney Sidney Powell. As you guys will probably recall, there was a lower court ruling. They ruled against the Texas State Bar, basically for clerical errors and just doing a crappy job. So now this appeals panel has upheld that decision. The appeals judges wrote in their opinion, quote, "The bar employed a scattershot approach to this case, which left this court and the trial court with the task of sorting through the argument to determine what issue had actually been raised." So, unlike attorneys John Eastman and Jeffrey Clark, it doesn't appear that Sidney Powell is going to face any consequences for her part in the attempted coup. I believe in karma, though, so I still have faith that she's going to find hers. She's going to get hers one way or the other. I don't mean that physically. I don't mean somebody's going to harm her, but I think that she will suffer consequences in some way. And as aggravating as that decision was about Powell, the Texas appeals court ruled in a totally different way. They ruled against one of Trump's other coup clowns earlier this month. So the appeals court sided with the state bar and said that they can take action against Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. That is for his attempt to overturn the 2020 election. Paxton, I'm sure you all remember, he filed this bogus lawsuit. It was filled with all kinds of, false allegations about election fraud. And so the state bar wants to sanction him for knowingly making false statements. So this decision wasn't unanimous, as you would imagine in Texas. There were two Democratic judges who agreed, yes, you can hold him accountable. Of course, the one Republican on the panel dissented. So we'll see what comes of that. Next is some good news about the Michigan Attorney General. They issued search warrants to Google and Twitter in regard to the fake electors investigation in that state. The warrants were issued a while back, and they were issued because of news reports that attorney Kenneth Chesebro had secret social media accounts, and he was using them to push election fraud conspiracy theories. You might remember me sharing that. It was probably about a month ago, I think. And according to CNN, the prosecutor now has hundreds of files that contain emails, also private direct messages, and they're all involving Chesebro, excuse me, I keep saying it wrong. Anyway, CNN obtained some of these communications, and it shows that Chesebro was trying to convince some pro-Trump minions to travel to D.C. on January 6th, basically to witness his alleged coup. So Chesebro even offered to pay for their airfare and their rooms, and he had booked a block of rooms at Trump's hotel. And he invited people, basically like the founder of the conspiracy theory website, the Gateway Pundit, the one that just filed for bankruptcy. Guess they could have used that free room. And then there were other messages that were sent to high-profile MAGA figures. So Chesebro was sending these to MAGA figures, and he was urging them to try to circulate and promote his coup ideas. So these messages completely contradict what Chesebro was telling investigators in December of last year, because they asked him, do you have social media accounts? Can we get access to them? And he said he didn't use social media, and he said he never sent any private messages. Now, is he going to be held accountable for lying? It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like he is cooperating. But there's more good news to share. Sloppy Steve Bannon was in court today for a pretrial hearing for his We Build the Wall scam. And guess who the judge is? You're never going to guess, I'll just tell you. It is none other than Judge Juan Merchan. So the same judge who's presiding over Trump's current trial. So that trial is coming up soon. It could land Mr. Three Shirts behind bars for many years. I am very excited about it. Next is a quick update about Trump coup clown Peter Navarro. The Supreme Court rejected yet another one of his requests to spring him from prison. He wanted to remain free while he appeals his 4-month sentence for that contempt of Congress, or I think he had 2 contempt of Congress charges. So it's looking like, Mr. What they do? What they do? He is probably going to finish his time behind bars before he even gets to an appeal. Oh, well. But, it's not like Navarro is in some crazy, dangerous facility in Gen Pop. Like, the court allowed him to go to a facility that is specifically for elderly inmates. He's in there with 80 other elderly inmates in Miami, Florida. So my guess is, it's a bunch of people in there for financial crimes. Anyway, I also have an update about America's defendant, Rudy Giuliani, or I have a few updates about him. He is trying to sell a very unique argument to the bankruptcy court. Giuliani is arguing to the court, I need you to approve $250,000 as an expenditure so I can go hire an old friend and colleague of mine to represent me in this appeal for the defamation judgment, that $146 million that he owes to Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. And he's saying, if you do this, this is a really good thing. Me spending $250,000 is a good thing, because if I am successful in my appeal, then I can get that massive judgment tossed or at least reduced, and then I can afford to pay my other debts. I mean, he wasn't paying his debts prior to that judgment, so I don't know how that would help. And you would think, too, that an old friend would give him a break on the legal fees. I mean, $250,000 to help him with an appeal? Geez, with friends like that, right? So we'll see how the judge rules on that. In the meantime, though, Giuliani has been caught making other unauthorized credit card purchases. The committee that's overseeing his bankruptcy, they told the judge, quote, as has been made abundantly clear in filings with the court, at hearings before the court, and through correspondence with the debtor's counsel, the committee does not have confidence in the debtor's ability to meet his obligations, generally as a debtor in possession, and specifically related to making timely and accurate required financial disclosures. Now, the judge has ruled in favor of Giuliani's creditors who asked for permission to hire a company that specializes in forensic accounting. Essentially, that's what they do. So this is necessary because obviously Giuliani isn't exactly being forthcoming about his finances. So this outside firm will be able to essentially crawl up Giuliani's backside with a microscope. That's kind of gross. So probably the wrong choice of words, but yeah, disgusting thought. Better them than me. Anyway, in any case, this company should be able to figure out if he's hiding things, which we know he is, how much he's hiding. And then last but not least, Newsweek reported that the Georgia Republican Party, they have spent, this is a state party, they have spent $1.7 million on legal fees related to Trump's alleged attempted coup. So they have been covering all of the legal expenses for the fake electors in their state. And so what do you know? They're running low on funds as we're entering the heart of election season. Oh, well, too bad. Guess they won't be able to help their candidates that much. Womp womp and thoughts and prayers. Anyway, I will let you all know when and if I hear more likely when. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Please like this video, share it, become a subscriber, become a donor if you possibly can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.